Welcome in and welcome back to Polite for What. I'm your host, Rhea. If you're not subscribed to the show, please hit that subscribe button that we can stay up to date with my content. And if you've been here for a while, you already know what to do. Get them likes up. That way I can stay in the algorithm. All right, y'all. I am here and I am back to do my weekly roundup. Of course, we're gonna hop right into some NFL injuries if I can get this mic right. All right, so let's go ahead and hop right into some NFL injuries. We have one of our own popping up on the list this week. This is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott will go on injury reserve due to a partial evolution of his right hamstring, which partial of his tendon is pulled away from the bone. So on Sunday, Dak did go out in that Atlanta game, and they were kind of like hoping that it wasn't that serious, but after further review, of course, it came back that, pretty much that his tendon is hanging off the bone. So going forward, Cooper Rush will be our quarterback. It is Eagles week. So Cooper's gonna have a tall task this week. And I feel like, if Cooper don't win these next two games, I feel like at some point we will see Trey Lance. But all right, let's go ahead and keep it moving. Also popping up on the injury report this week, we have Zach Moss. Zach Moss was placed on injury reserve Tuesday due to a neck injury and most likely will miss the entire season. Although Moss was not the primary back over there in Cincinnati, he was splitting carries with Chase Brown. And of course, since he's gonna be out, and I didn't put it on my trade, so I guess I can go ahead and tell you guys here. They did get Khalil Hubert to come in to replace Moss, like I said, since he's gonna be out for the season. So they did get his replacement in or at the trade deadline. But all right, let's go ahead and keep it moving. Let's get into some NFL news. All right, so let's get into the New Orleans head coach. New Orleans head coach Dennis Allen was fired on Monday after losing to the Carolina Panthers, which marks the team's 7th game they had lost in a row. Excuse me. Dennis Allen stepped in after Sean Payton stepped down as a head coach in 2021. In Allen's 3 seasons, he was 18 for 25 and he had 0 playoff appearances. So I feel like, I guess the organization felt like after losing to a bad Carolina team with a rookie quarterback, that was like, hey, Dennis, you got to go ahead and get up out of here. You can't keep embarrassing us at this point. So I guess they felt like it was time for them to part ways, especially because this team has not made it to the playoffs in the last 3 years. But all right, that's all I have for the NFL news. Let's go ahead and get into some NFL trades. For those of you who don't know, the trade deadline was on Tuesday. So of course, teams is gonna be making moves to make their teams better. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into the first one. We have Zadarius Smith. He was traded to the Lions. The Browns sent the Lions a 7th-round pick in exchange for a 2025 5th-rounder and a 2026 6th-rounder. This is a great pickup for the Lions, being that Aiden Hutchinson did go out. So this is his replacement at DN. Like I said, Smith is a really good player. He has 15 solo tackles so far this year, and he has 5 sacks. I feel like this is gonna be a very scary defense when Aiden Hutchinson come back. So now you get two guys who can rush off the edge with, to pair with the defense that's already been kind of going crazy. And like I said, they just adding to this team. Everybody trying to make their playoff push right now. And the Lions is one of the best teams in the NFC. So of course, they're gonna make sure they can kind of like solidify themselves when they do make it to the playoffs. So like I said, this is a good pickup for them getting Zadarius Smith. But all right, let's go ahead and move into the second trade that went on this week. We have Mike Williams. Mike Williams was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a 2025 5th-rounder. I feel like Mike Williams is still a pretty serviceable wide receiver. He's not young. He's a vet. He's been in the game for a while. And I think they let him go from the Jets because him and Aaron Rodgers, they didn't have any chemistry going on. The last time you seen the pass from Aaron Rodgers to Mike Williams, he dropped probably was the game winning touchdown. So after that, Aaron Rodgers didn't go back to him. So they probably feel like, hey, you guys don't have any chemistry. So we're gonna let you go ahead and go somewhere else. And I feel like he's gonna be good for Russell Wilson over there in Pittsburgh. It gives him another big body to pair with George Pickens. So, sometimes guys go to a new team, a different environment. So, Mike Williams, He might do his thing over there because he was really good when he was with the Chargers. You know, sometimes some guys just don't fit in certain players. So hopefully he can go over to the Pittsburgh Steelers and give them some good production. But all right, let's go ahead and keep it moving. The last person I have here on the trade, this is Marshawn Lattimore. He was traded to the Washington Commanders for a third, a fourth, and a sixth round pick. They absolutely gave them a haul for this player. This is a good pickup for the Commanders. They do get an upgrade at the cornerback position. Like I said, this is one of the teams that people wasn't expecting to be that good. The Commanders are 7-2, and you know they have completely turned their season around. So this is a very, very good pickup. Getting Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, he is an older guy, still a vet, but he's still an absolute dog. He's been in multiple Pro Bowls, and he was named as an All-Pro. So, like I said, they get an upgrade at that cornerback position. All right, so that's pretty much all I have for my NFL trade. So I just want to go ahead and get into, you know, what y'all already know. Y'all came here to see who I got on my top 10. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. When y'all see my top 10 this week, it's probably gonna trigger a few people. I'm not even gonna lie to you. We had a lot of teams moving around this week, so without further ado, let's get into my top 10. All right, so like I said, this week we have some changes going on. I should have said trigger alert before I pull this up. Because I know before y'all get in the comments, I got Detroit over the Kansas City Chiefs coming in at number 1. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. First of all, Detroit, they only allow their opponents to score 19 points a game. And Jared Goff is probably having one of his best seasons. He's completing 83% of his passes, and he got that Detroit team looking good. Like I said, the Detroit Lions is the best team in the NFC right now. Like, it's no doubt about it. It's one of the stronger teams. And I feel like at this point, that's why I had to put them at number 1. Like I said, when I do my power rankings, I base it on points allowed, points scored. And then I pretty much I take record into consideration, but pretty much the record is the last thing that I take into the consideration. Like I said, points allowed, points scored, and then your strength of schedule. So this is what my top 10 looking like so far. So coming in at number 2, and this is the reason why I put Kansas City at 2. So although they are undefeated, and I still value Kansas City is a very good team, but these last 2 games they've been kind of shaky for me. I'm not gonna lie. They got into a dogfight. They got into a dogfight with the Raiders, and then Sunday night they got into a dogfight with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that don't even have Chris Godwin. They don't have Mike Evans. And you telling me that y'all cannot absolutely just blow out the Buccaneers? Like, Kansas City, y'all supposed to be the best team in the league. Y'all are undefeated right now. Like I said, this team is looking very beatable. At the end of the day, like I said, Kansas City still have a very, very good defense. But from what I've seen in the last 2 weeks, it's kind of like, okay, you know, Kansas City, y'all been inching every week to fall from number 1 to number 2. And this week, I feel like I had to go ahead and switch it up, even though like they haven't lost yet. They still undefeated. But these last 2 weeks have just been kind of shaky. So that's why I got Kansas City at number 2. Coming in at number 3, we still got the Bills holding down the 3rd spot this week. Now their game did come to a walk-off field goal, but their defense only allowed 94 total rush yards, and they played a fairly good game. So that's why I feel like the Bills can hold their spot at number 3. Coming in at number 4, I have the Minnesota Vikings. The defense had a really good game. They held Joe Flacco to 179 pass yards and only allowed 68 total rush yards. So that's why the Minnesota Vikings are at number 4 this week. And then coming in at number 5, I still got the Ravens sitting at 5 this week. They did put up 41 points against a good Denver defense. Derrick Henry rushed for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. So they get to keep their spot at 5. Like I said, the Ravens, I had to drop them last week because they lost to a bad football team. And then this week, you beat up on the Denver team. So you're still sitting at 5. You didn't move up, you didn't move down. So I think still being in the top 5 is pretty good. So y'all let me know how I did this week. What that top 5 looking like? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Are y'all mad about the Lions being over Kansas City? Let me know down in the comments. All right. So let's go ahead and get into 6 through 10. 6 through 10 is looking real different this week. It's looking real different this week. I ain't gonna lie. And I really had to really sit and think about my 6 through 10. I was moving the 8, 9, and 10 around. I just kept going back and forth, checking the schedules, checking the teams that they played. So this is what I came up with. So coming in at number 6, we have the Commanders, who jumped up to the 6th spot this week. Jaden Daniels continued to play well as a rookie and has his team 7-2 and currently is the leader in the NFC East. So I feel like it's only right that I put the Commanders at 6. I couldn't put them in the top 5. They ain't top 5 quite yet to me, but I feel like they doing real good to be sitting at number 6. All right, so coming in at number 7, we had the Houston Texans drop down one spot. Because they lost to a team that's under 500. Even though the Jets offense may be looking good, it may be clicking right now, but they were still a bad football team. At the time, the Jets were 2-6. Now they moved to 3-6. This is why I feel like I had to drop the Texans down. And you know what? I got to give the Texans a little grace. This is why I only dropped them down one spot, because they were without their best receivers in Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins. So Houston Texans, I got y'all at 7 this week. Coming in at number 8, Green Bay Packers. Y'all are slowly inching down my list. Slowly inching down my list. I still got y'all at the 8th spot because I feel like y'all do still have a very good defense. But from what y'all showed me on Sunday against the Detroit Lions, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I am very, very disappointed. I did pick y'all to win in that game, and y'all didn't do anything. Even though the score made it seem like it was a little bit closer, but if you watch that game, it was just like it was pretty much a total blowout. Minus what the score said, honestly. I know it was a nasty game. They had to go out and play in the rain, but at the end of the day, this is what football is. You gotta be ready for anything, for weather, injuries, and I feel like the Green Bay Packers they just wasn't up to the task. They wasn't up to the task, and granted, like I said, the Lions is the number 1 team right now in the NFC, but I still feel like Green Bay was gonna have a better game than what they showed. So coming in at number 9, the Atlanta Falcons made my list this week. At this point, we got to kind of respect the Falcons. We got to respect the Falcons. They one of the better teams too, also that's in the NFC. In the last 5 games, they are averaging 25 points. And Kirk Cousins he's showing the lead that he still got it. Kirk is showing that he still got something in the tank. Don't write him off because he ain't writing back. So that's why I had to put the Atlanta Falcons at number 9. And then coming in at number 10, y'all probably gonna be mad about this one. I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all gonna probably be mad about this one, but I don't care. I feel like since the Rams have gotten healthy, they have been on a 3-game win streak. And I was going back and forth with, should I put the Eagles right there or should I put LA right there? I was just going back and forth with myself. And then I went and looked, like I said, I checked the strength of schedules, and I can't put the Eagles in my top 10 right now. Like, y'all just been beating up on tomato cans. Y'all beat the Giants, y'all beat the Bengals, and y'all beat the Jags. Like, I'm not respecting the Eagles right now. I mean, it's not because I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm just not respecting y'all beating those teams. But like I said, I do have the Rams coming in at number 10 this week. Like I said, they've been on a 3-game winning streak, and then I feel like they had a notable win to me. Like, they beat the Vikings, and that's a team that I have in my top 5 right now. So I feel like I had to put the Rams in my top 10. But y'all let me know down in the comments, did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? What y'all feel about my list? Who y'all think should be in the top 10? I know I had the Pittsburgh Steelers up there last week, but they didn't play. So like I said, this is my week 9 rankings going into week 10. But all right, y'all, let's go ahead and keep this thing moving. We're gonna preview this Thursday night football game going on tonight. We got the 4-5 Bengals versus the 6-3 Ravens. This will be a divisional showdown tonight. The Ravens are favorite at 5.5. And I will say I would agree with them, but this is a divisional matchup. We all know how that can go. When you play the same team twice a year, y'all kind of have each other numbers. So this game actually can go either way. And the last time they played at the beginning of the year, this game did come down to overtime, but the Ravens ultimately won this game. But like I said, um this game can go in it can go either way, honestly, but I don't know. I don't know who to pick. I don't know who to pick. I mean, the Ravens been looking really, really good, but we'll just see. We'll just see. Maybe I will ride with the Ravens. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Ravens is at home. Okay, they at home. I'm gonna ride with the Ravens. But like I said, this game could go either way. But I'm rambling. So let me keep on going. So I did check their injury report, and Isaiah Likely is out, and T. Higgins is doubtful for tonight's game. So let's go ahead and get into some key players and key matchups, how I feel about each team. So since the Ravens are playing at home, I'll go ahead and get into their key players and what I think they should do first. So, of course, starting with Derrick Henry, who is currently the league's rusher with 1,052 yards and 11 touchdowns. Like, that's absolutely insane. 11 touchdowns is insane. But they gonna need Derrick Henry to have a very good game. I feel like Derrick Henry been kind of carrying them every week anyway. But the Bengals is ranked 6th for yards per carry against the run. But like I said, Derrick Henry just been a dog each and every week. So I still expect Derrick Henry to get it done, even though, like I said, this Bengals team is ranked in the top 10 of holding the ball carry to under like I think like 3 yards per carry. So let's go ahead and get to the second player that I have on my list here. Zay Flowers. Will likely being out tonight. I expect Zay to get heavy targets. Last week he did have 5 receptions for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I feel like Zay, they're gonna need you tonight. They're gonna need you, and they're gonna need Mark Andrews to kind of like step up and kind of be that spark. And I know Deontay Johnson just went over there. I don't know if we're gonna really see him that much, being that he was just traded there not too long ago. So, maybe they'll have him come in and do something very, very basic. But other than that, I expect Zay Flowers to get heavy targets tonight. Then, of course, you got Lamar Jackson. He is leading the league with 20 touchdowns right now, and he only has 2 interceptions. And we all know how dangerous Lamar is if he takes off running. So, of course, you're gonna need Lamar to do his thing to go up against Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow feel like, you know, he was one of them top 10 quarterbacks too at one point, but it just seems like the Bengals has been having a hard time putting some wins together. So of course, Lamar, they're gonna need you to come out and do your thing for your team. But I ain't even gotta tell you that we already know what Lamar is and what Lamar is about. This man was an MVP twice in the league. But all right, let's go ahead and get into the Bengals players and what they need to do to win this matchup against the Ravens. Of course, we're gonna kick it off right with some defense. I have Trey Hendrickson. I'm sorry, Trey Hendrickson. The Bengals is gonna need him to show up like he did last week. He had 4 sacks against the Raiders, and he is currently leading the NFL with 11 sacks. So they're gonna really need a big game from him. Like I said, try to get Lamar to the ground if he can. They're gonna really need Trey to be in his bag of tricks tonight if they want to kind of contain Lamar Jackson and get that win over them tonight. All right, so let's go ahead and keep it moving. I have Mike Gesicki on here. I hope I'm saying it right. Mike Gesicki, he's a tight end. He had a really good game last week, 5 receptions for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I feel like the Bengals are gonna need him to do that again. Like I said, especially with T. Higgins being out, they're gonna need some production from him and for Ja'Marr Chase, which I do have on my list as well. Then they're gonna need him to step up tonight and have a really good game. He didn't have a good game last week. He only had about 7 receptions for 43 yards, but he did have 1 touchdown. But they're gonna need Ja'Marr Chase to kind of step up and kind of be that top 10 wide receiver that you was last year. I know he haven't really been doing much because Ja'Marr Chase is probably still a little disgruntled because he did not get paid. So he really haven't been making a lot of noise that year. But I mean this year, but they're gonna really need Ja'Marr Chase to step up tonight and do his thing for their team. All right, y'all. So that was just a quick little preview of tonight's game. Y'all tell me down in the comments who y'all think is gonna win this game. Who y'all got? Y'all got the Bengals or do y'all have the Ravens? Let me know. If y'all want to put score predictions down in a comment box, I'll take that too. But all right, y'all. This is a quick little show. I just ran through everything that I have. As always, tell a friend to follow me here on YouTube. And of course, you see my socials right here above my head. If you want to follow me over there on X, you can follow me there. Or if you want to follow the Instagram page, the handle is at the top. All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the show, and I will see y'all later. Bye.